Good morning students, welcome in this class. This video is for class 8 subject social science as we are studying about civic chapter 7 understanding marginalization. It is the second lecture of this chapter and in today's lecture topics to be discussed are first minorities and marginalization, Muslim and marginalization, Adivasis and development, and in last some question answer will be given you as homework. So let's start today's discussion. In today's discussion our first topic is Adivasi and development. Yes, forest plays a crucial role in the development of all empires and settled civilization in India as they provide with metal ores, iron, copper, gold, silver, invaluable timber, medicinal herbs, animal products like wax, lac and honey. Yes friends, since ancient time the forests have been important for the development of different empires and civilization in India. Animal products such as wax, honey, lac, animals such as elephants for armies, invaluable timber, metal ores, gold, silver, coal, diamond, copper, all these came from this forest. So apart from that, in order to continue life, the mainstream population has to depend on forest, means Adivasis. It helps to recharge the rivers passing through that areas and provides clear air and water as well. So until the 19th centuries, that forest covered a major portion of India. Until then, the Adivasis had direct access, deep knowledge and a major control over vast tract of the forest. These areas controlled by Adivasis were not controlled by any kingdom or government until then. Instead, the earlier kingdoms were directly dependent on these Adivasis of forest in order to get access to certain resources. Means at that time that Adivasis lived independent life and they had complete right on the resources of the forest. This is there, means earlier they were the owner of the forest and they had all right to use these sources of forest. In the pre-colonial world they were traditionally that raised hunter-gatherers, nomads, and they lived by shifting agriculture and cultivating at one place. For the past 200 years Adivasis have been forced through economic changes, forest policies and political force applied by the state to migrate as workers in plantation industries and as domestic workers. And Miss Forest lands have been cleared for timber and to get land for agriculture and industry. But if we say that nowadays the Adivasis mainly have an image as the marginal and powerless communities. Okay, if we talk means during the British rules, they were the traditional hunters, gatherers and nomads. They lived by cultivating at one place or even practice shifting agriculture. Means already we have discussed about shifting agriculture, that in this type of agriculture a part of or patch of forest land was cleared. Okay, trees were cut from that place and then these tribal communities scattered seed on that part of land and they did cultivations, and when this part loses fertility then they shifted to the other parts. Okay, so in this way that they practiced shifting cultivation. Someone involved in hunter and gathering activities, someone that they were nomads, they shifted to one place to another. So but that for the last you can say past 200 years Adivasis have been forced through economic changes, forest policies and political force applied by the state to migrate as worker in plantation industries and as domestic worker. What does it mean? It means in the last 200 years the Adivasis have been forced to live as constructional laborers, plantation workers or join industries. The government achieved this by enforcing forest policies, economic changes and applied political forces to achieve this. It was for the first time in history that these Adivasis had no control over their own land. Okay, Since 1930, the Adivasis from Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, adjoining area, they started moving in huge number to plantation located in India and other countries such as Mauritius or that Caribbean and even Australia. The tea estates in Assam thrived because of this reason. Due to this, the state has over 70 lakh tribals. The event regarding the tribal migration is full of extreme torture, hardship, and death. So, in order to get land for setting up industries and agriculture, the government has ordered to clear the forest land for timber many times. Adivasis have continued to reside in this area, which is rich in minerals and other natural resources. The government has taken up that their lands for mining and set up industries. Okay, and the political you can see forces have also often harassed this tribal in order to that vacate them or that means force them to shift from their tribal land. And most of the time, while the government has taken away this land forcefully, they do not follow the required procedure, and huge tracts of land have gone under the water of hundreds of dams that have been built in independent India. So means that their land has been taken you can say for many purposes. Okay, as that some part of the land, forest land, they are used for agricultural activity. On some part the buildings were set up, industries were set up, and most that a big part of the forest land that was used to build dam. Okay, so losing their lands and access to the forest means that tribal lost their main source of livelihood, and Adivasis have migrated to cities in search of a job. Means as the tribe that they lost access their rights to the forest along with the lands, they also end up losing the main source of livelihood and food because they completely dependent on the forest. So when their forest land were taken away, then in this way that they lost their livelihood, source of income. Due to this, they migrate to the cities for work, that they get low wages at constructional site for industries. Due to this, they are caught in the cycle of you can say deprivation or poverty, and around 35% of the tribal in the urban areas and 45% tribes in the rural areas, they live under below poverty line. Okay, and due to this there is the deprivation in other areas also, like many tribal kids are that is they are malnourished, and illiteracy is also you can say prevalent among them. So means to as a means due to this factor, due to this that they face other problems also, like due to the poverty, the children of these tribal communities are not getting enough amount or that all 3 times or stomach full food, and due to this poverty that their children are not going in the schools for educations. Okay, so that's why the illiteracy is also prevalent among them, and the social and economic dimensions of a tribal life are interconnected to each other. Destruction is one sphere is bound to impact the other in same way or other way, and the process of displacement, means shifting from one place to another, leaving the forest land and shifted to the cities, okay, in near the industries, and this dispositions is often violent as well as painful. So these were some problems which were faced by the tribal communities as the name of the development. Okay, now we will discuss about that minorities, groups and marginalization. Yes friends, actually the Constitution of India provides safeguard to linguistic and religious minorities as a part of fundamental rights. The term minority is most commonly used to refer to communities that are numerically small in relation to the rest of the population. First, you must know about the meaning of minorities. What are the majority group, what are the minority group. So means the you can say minority term is used for those people or group, those who are less in number, or you can say less than the half of the total population of any country. They are considered the minority group. Okay, and so Adivasis also come in this category, and that their cultural diversity and promoting equality as well as justice, safeguards are needed to protect minority communities against the possibility of being culturally dominated by the majority. They are also protect them against any discrimination and disadvantage that they may face. What is there? As I told that the Constitution of India provides safeguard to linguistic and religious minority as a part of fundamental rights. Okay, it is used to refer to those communities whose number are smaller as compared to the rest of the population. Okay, and that as we have studied earlier, that the Constitution of India recognized majority of culture influences in which a government and the society may influence themselves. So due to this, the size would be a disadvantage and lead to the marginalization of a community small in size. These laws protect against any discrimination or disadvantage a minority community could face. As the minority have less population, so the rest of the society sorry, the rest of the society may feel insecure about their living beings, lives or asset. If the relation between majority and minority community are you can say not equal, or that is a sense of insecurity that they may get that accentuated, and the Constitution is committed to protect this. It is mentioned in our Constitution that it is the duty of the government, okay, to protect cultural diversity in India and promote justice and equality. So a citizen of India is free to approach the court if he or she feels her right have been violated. Okay, so to protect that their culture of the minority group, so provision is given in our Constitution. Now we will discuss about other that minority group of India, that is Muslims and marginalization. Muslims are 13.4 of India's population, are considered to be a marginalized community in India. So if we consider the populations of the Muslim, those who are living in India, this is according to the you can say census 2011. If we talk that the total population 14.2. Okay, and as compared to the other communities, it is considered as a marginalized community. As compared to the other community, that it is deprived of that various socio and economic development. Okay, and that's why the government recognized this fact that the Muslim were lagging in terms of various development indicators, and that means considering this situation, it constituted that a high level of committee which was chaired by Justice Rajendra Sachar. Okay, it examined economic, educational and social status of the Muslim in the country. Actually, it was that said by some group of the people and the Muslim communities that they are not getting equal rights, okay, or that basic needs in India. So for to examine these situations, considering situations, one committee was that set up in 2005, and the name of this committee was, you can see that committee was Sachar committee. Actually that committee was chaired by a person, that name of that person Rajendra Sachar. Okay, he examined economic, educational and social status of the Muslim, those who are living in our country. Okay, and the report of the committee suggests that Muslim community is comparable to that other marginalized communities like scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Okay, and according to the report, average year of the schooling for Muslim children between age of 7 to 16 is much lower that of the other social religious communities. Okay, and the Muslim custom and practice such as wearing burqa, fez, make them different from others. Because of this, they tend to be identified differently, and some people think that they are not like the rest of us. This often becomes an excuse to treat them unfairly. Yes, beta, we have discussed in our previous lectures also that the marginalized reasons for the marginalization, speaking different language, different lifestyle, different you can say costume. This is there. So in the that if we talk about the Muslim communities, so means their dressing sense, their culture, that make them different from the other groups. Okay, by their dressing, by looking their dressing sense and their custom, that we consider that they are not like us, and they are not like us, and they are not from our country. Okay, that's why this is the main reason for the marginalization. So this committee, which was that set up in 2005 under the that chairmanship of Rajendra Sachar. So the committee discusses that marginalizations of the Muslim community in details, and the one report was presented by this committee. That what reports was given? It states that on a range of economic, social and educational indicators, Muslim community situation is comparable to that of the other marginalized communities such as scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. Okay, and then according to this report, what they said, that the schooling of the Muslim children between the age of 7 to 16 is low as compared to the other communities. Muslim experience social and economic marginalization also in other ways, as already we have discussed about their dressing sense. So this bit of marginalization is a complex phenomena that needs a variety of, you can say, measures, strategy, safeguard to that you can say reduce this gap between the society or marginalizations. Okay, and all of us need to protect the fundamental rights of the others given in the constitutions. We should you can say respect our fundamental rights, as well as that we should need to protect the fundamental rights of the others also. Without this, we will be unable to protect the diversity in India that makes our country unique. So always we say that there is a diversity, unity in diversity. So means, and how can we that save this diversity? How can we protect? Then we respect to the other communities also. Okay, this is there. So and for that one, another term which is used here, that the social marginalization of Muslim in some instances has led that migration from place where they have lived, often leading to ghettoizations of the community. Okay, now we will discuss about this term ki what is there. So one term, that is ghettoizations, ki what does it means? That term means is an area, that ghetto is an area or locality that is populated largely by member of a particular community. Therefore, a process that leads to a such situation. This may occur due to various social, cultural and economic reasons. So the experience of all these groups point the fact that marginalization is a complex phenomena requiring a variety of strategy, measures, safeguard and redress to the situation. So already I have discussed about it. It means this is a complex phenomena, and so for that, okay, to that reduce this gap in the thinking of the peoples, or to maintain the diversity of our country, we should respect of other religions, other cultures, okay, and their language and their, you can say their culture also. So in this way we can that prevent the diversity of our country, okay, and that makes our country unique. Okay students, so means in this chapter that gives the information ki what does the meaning of marginalized community in India and what are their regions. This is there. Okay, so beta in this way that our chapter is completed, and now we will have a discussion on the homework solution of our lecture 1, in which our first question, few marginalized group of India. So in which Adivasis, Muslims and Dalit. What are the consequences of marginalization? Marginalization actually that results in having a low social status and not having equal access to education and other resources. How are Adivasi portrayed, shown today? Yes, Adivasis are invariably portrayed in very stereotypical ways, in colorful costumes, headgears and through their dancing. Often Adivasis are blamed for their lack of advancement, as they are believed to be resistant to change a new idea. Okay, so these are some false images, false thinkings about the Adivasis group. Now our next question, why groups may be marginalized? Yes, the marginalization can be because that they speak a different language, they follow different custom, or belong to a different religious group from the majority community. They may also feel marginalized because they are poor, considered to be low social status and viewed as being less human than others. Two reasons why Adivasis are becoming increasingly marginalized. First is they follow a different culture, language, tradition from the mainstream and Indian society, and which leads us to wrongfully classify them as exotic. Exotic means outsider, primitive and backward. They are used to a way of life close to nature, and with the cutting down of forests they are being forced to migrate to urban areas where they feel out of place and not in sync with a lifestyle so vastly different from their countryside background. Okay, now today's homework, you have to write the answer of these questions in your fair notebook. In which first question, write in your words 2 or more sentences of what you understand by the word marginalization. Actually, these are the questions of NCERT book of your exercise of this chapter. Write one reason why do you think that constitution safeguard to protect minority communities are very important. We discussed, yes, to protect the diversity of our country it is, and to provide them basic or fundamental rights. So this is necessary to provide safeguard by our constitution. Question 3, reread the section on the minority and marginalization. This about this topic it is given in your book. You have to read that topic, minority and marginalization. After reading it, you have to write what do you understand by the term minority. Imagine that you are watching the Republic Day parade on TV with a friend and she remarks, look at these tribal people, they look so exotic and they seem to be dancing all the time. List 3 things that you would tell her about the lives of the Adivasis in India. Means that you will tell about that their real lifestyle. Okay, means they are not exotic, they are not uncivilized. So here you have to tell about their features. Would you agree with the statement that economic marginalization and social marginalization are interlinked, and why? Yes, definitely these 2 things are interlinked. So the answers of this question you have to write in your fair notebook and submit it to me. Okay. Now in this way our today's lecture discussion is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with our next lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.